This is now actually using these tools that we've seen. We've created the idea of working as a marketing manager for a travel company, and I've got a list of things to do. Somebody has built a very basic landing page about visiting Mallorca. I've got 4 jobs to do. So one, I need to think about personalizing this content. We've got some business segments defined, and we need to give them reasons to go and visit this place. Number 2, the work has to be visually appealing. So we need to generate some new imagery to go into there. It needs to rank well in search results, so we're going to think about SEO, we're going to generate some metadata, and finally we've got this request here to keep the conversation going. So what we're going to do is we're going to generate a blog article to accompany this, and we're going to get that published and try and drive some more traffic in. So our first request on there about personalizing content, we have added AI into Magnolia's existing personalization tools so that it appears seamlessly, it's available for people to use without a second thought. So if we see what that looks like, we'll come in to Magnolia. In our Pages app, we can see I have my landing page here. What I'm interested in is this piece of text here, reasons to visit. We've gone for a broad approach with 3 different sort of topic areas, but we need to drill down and expand on one of those. So first off, we go out, as we do currently inside Magnolia, we have our segments defined. And in here, I've identified a group of people who are history fans. We said that, so they are seasoned travelers, perhaps they're slightly older, they're interested in historical sites, museums, and we said they're not interested in beaches or shopping. So now, we come back to the page with that data in mind, we can select our component, and alongside the existing tools to add variants, we have a new command down the bottom here to generate a variant. So we click on this, and we're asked, well, who am I generating this for? So we can say this is for our history fan segment. And now all we do is we ask Magnolia to generate the variant for me. So this is taking a prompt that we've pre-built. It's taking the content that's in the page. It adds in our audience information. And we can see we come back now with some more relevant text to these groups. So it's focused in on cultural immersion. It's talking about those galleries because we said that they are of interest. And it's included some information here. Again, using its own learning, its understanding that it knows about interesting places that would appeal to somebody interested in history. So we, as the editor, we can review this. We can check that this is good. It hasn't gone haywire and just imagined things. Perhaps we need to go and do some fact checking. But if we're happy with that, we can simply say create variant. This will then be stored inside Magnolia. We'll see the standard variant selector will come up here. And now we've got our different versions stored within Magnolia. So this might be for a mail shot campaign, social media, it could be cookie-based. When Magnolia detects this fits the framework for a history fan, we're going to surface this content in front of them instead. Typically, the barrier to people doing this at the moment is the amount of time that it takes to keep on rewriting content. If we can do this in a couple of seconds, we can do this repeatedly, we can start to personalize a lot of content. At the minute, those that do it are perhaps doing it for little segments, just a little bit here and there. So that's our main driver. We know that people want to personalize content to serve to people. We know that the consumers of that content want to have a personalized experience. This lets us do it quicker, and if we just take the same amount of time, we use AI, we can do it for many, many more people. So the next task that we had on our list of things to do was to add some imagery into that landing page. For this, we have a new tool. This is Magnolia's AI image editor, and this is integrated into the DAM. So if we take a look at some things that we can do here, we can generate original images. We'll do a bit of brief image manipulation, and then we'll combine some existing stuff to come up with this composite image that we can add into our homepage. So, as we said, it's integrated into the Magnolia DAM. There's a new action in the action bar to launch the editor. And we can see we have a blank canvas, and we can go from there. So we want a banner image, so we'll just change the shape of the canvas we're going to work on. And we see we have an action in the right-hand side here to generate an image. This gives us a glimpse of the model registry that we talked about. We've configured 2 different Flux models that could be used to answer this response. So now I decide, well, I'm going to go with the Pro one, but we may have learned different models are better for different types of images. That's for people to work out what suits them best of all. So now I can say, well, I want a picture of a beach at sunset. And I can ask for that to be generated. Image generation is slower than text generation at the minute. We've seen text generation has sped up immensely, so we assume that image generation is only going to get faster, but it can take a few seconds. So we've got our beach picture, and we think, right, that's quite useful. We can start to work with that. It's generic enough, but it's not very appealing to our different groups. And we saw, as well as our history fans, we had our active travellers. So let's try and add something a bit more exciting into this image. So we can ask to generate another image, and it will just be layered on the top. So let's say I want to add a hot air balloon in there as well. So we'll ask for it to be against the clear sky, and we'll see why in a second. So we'll send that off to be generated, and we'll have the two images layered on top of each other. We'll just see what comes back. There we go. That's good. We can take that balloon image, but if we scale it down a little bit, we'll see the immediate problem is how do I fit that balloon into the sunset sky because it's got a blue background. I could send this off to a team of art workers, or I can use in our imaging toolbar down the bottom here, you'll see we've got some additional prompts that we've added. We can send that image back to where it came from and say, no, I need you to do something else to it. In this case, I want you to remove the background. Alexander will show you later on how you can add your own actions in there, and this depends on what your customers, what your clients, what do they want to do with their images? Are they looking to enhance things, to change the filtering on things? They can add that in with a prompt. So we'll say, right, I want you to take the background off of that balloon image, and we should see that comes back, so that's quite useful. So we'll just stick that over on the side there. This is looking better. This is looking more useful. I could start to put this into my page, perhaps. The thing that's missing is I want to be able to brand this image as well and put my Magnolia travel logo in the corner of here. The problem, what we're finding, is that AI models are not very good at the fine details, perhaps, of logos. It takes a lot of detail to specify Pantone colors, ratios, and things like this. It's much easier at this stage to use the integration into the DAM and say, I want to add an asset into there that I already have. So we can simply browse into Magnolia and say, I've got a corporate logo stored in my DAM already. I want to use that. So that's now added in as another layer. So I'll put that underneath the balloon. There we go. It's a bit of a quick job, but that'll do. That'll be my new banner. So the final thing that I can do now is I have up in the corner here, save as asset. And this allows me to now put that into the DAM. So we'll save that in our Mallorca folder, and we'll call it new banner. So that's done. That's now saved inside Magnolia. I can go back to my landing page, and I can say, right, I just want to change the banner here, swap out that background image. There's my new banner. It's ready and waiting for me. Save my changes. There we go. I've now ticked off the next job on my list. I've updated the imagery on my page. So why are we doing this? We think the benefit is quite obvious, that this saves a lot of time, this saves a lot of money as well. You're not licensing images from Getty, you're not having these things professionally worked. Where it works for you, you can use image generation to do things much, much quicker. And if you're interested in personalizing, you can start to personalize imagery in the same time it takes you to personalize text. So the next requirement that we had on our list was to think about SEO metadata for our landing page. So we've added in these black boxes that we see here. We now have the same Magnolia text fields that everybody knows, and we've got AI tools that connect into them. So if we see how this looks, we'll generate some metadata for our page. This is very, very quick. We go up to the standard page properties dialog. We'll sit under this metadata tab here. Nothing's been added in. But we click on the black button, and we have a list of different things available to us. This box has been configured. It only allows people to do one thing, and that's to fire off a prompt that we've written to generate SEO keywords. So we say, right, I need some keywords for my page. I can click on here. This will include the page content with the prompt and say, right, find the keywords in here. So beaches, Mediterranean travel, this is quite good. We'll have this. And we can do similar things. We can ask for a brief description of the page as well. So I can send this off, and I get back that rough description of what is the page about. If I save those changes now, they're now locked down in the metadata. We've got that ticked off the list. This is a very quick job. Why are we doing this? Because doing this for hundreds of pages is incredibly dull. We want to take away the repetitive work and allow people to focus on writing interesting content. So we save time, we let people focus on better things. One thing that's worth pointing out here as well is for sort of public-facing search like Google, obviously they have the ability to find keywords and descriptions, and possibly they're ignoring this anyway. Where this is particularly useful, if people already have internal search indexes, you can now add the AI enhancements onto that search, so people don't have to work this out manually. We can ensure that content that goes into that search index has a relevant description and keywords added into it already. So the final task that I had was this requirement that I drive a conversation about reasons to visit Mallorca. And the requirement was that I write a blog article about this. So for this, we have some content creation tools. And what we're going to see is something more like a conversation. We're going to ask the model to generate for us a skeleton of our story. And then we're going to see those text boxes again with some more commands in them that allow us to have a conversation with the model and send the text back and forth and try and fine-tune what we're after. So let's jump into the demo here. And again, this is integrated into existing stuff. If you've seen the Stories app using the content editor framework, you'll know what this is going to look like. Instead of saying, add a story, we use a different action. We say, I want you to generate a story. So here we can see, right, which prompt do we want? We've got one in here about personalized blog posts. And it's going to say, right, what's the topic? So we're going to say the topic is reasons to visit Mallorca. And we're going to be asked for a segment. So these are the segments that we defined already. We saw our history fan. I've defined an active traveler in here as well. We can see here the preview, and this needs a little UI tweak. But we can see here, write a blog article about reasons to visit Mallorca for, and in comes our segment here. Now, these people are interested in thrills, extreme sports. They're less interested in the scenery. So we'll submit that now, and we'll say, well, generate an outline for me. So we just see in the prompt there that this has been configured to send this to OpenAI, but again, it can be anything that's in the registry. And we get back our rough draft, our skeleton of the article, topics that we're going to talk about. So we can say, right, this is quite good. We know that water sports are great. It's an island destination, but just this handful of words, this is not enough. I need to expand upon this. So as we hover on the text, we see here the same AI text-filled menu that we saw before. And we have a lot more options available to us in here. And what we want is this action here to expand. So we saw where we can put those variables into the prompts. And we say, right, I need about 120 words on water sports. Confirm. The text will flash blue while it gets sent back again. And we see it gets expanded. We can build up our blog article this way. All of this text is still editable, so I can collaborate with the system. It's not just going to generate everything for me and say, there you go, there's your article. I can work back and forth. I've got other options in here as well. I can ask it, I need you to simplify this text. It's a little bit too complicated for my intended audience. Or I have here the hyperprompts, and this takes me back to what we saw at the start where I had my stored prompts. So if I know that often for my client, I need to think about their particular tone of voice, a problem that they have, I can write a prompt for them and drop it into Magnolia for them. They can launch it from inside here. So with my story done, I can save that. I would expand on all the other bits. It goes straight in to the Stories app, and now that's available for me to publish. Or perhaps I send it through the standard review process. Having edited it myself, I can send it off for a publisher and approver to take a look before it goes out as well. It's integrated into the same workflows that we have right now. So with that done, that's the final bit of my requirements. I was able to tick through all of those boxes. So what we've seen, why are we doing this? Because we know that AI can speed up content creation. Drafting that article would have taken me far longer than just the couple of minutes that I've done now. I can get my content out very, very quickly. I can respond to new trends. I can respond to current affairs by getting content out super, super fast. So that would complete everything on my list of things that I was required to do. I've got my landing page enhanced, I've got my blog content, and it's taken me a couple of minutes